Hey everybody, my name is Rydo, and today we will be deconstructing Captive Minecraft 3. So I just finished a series of Captive Minecraft 3, and I've already started some deconstruction. If you didn't watch the series, I'd highly recommend it just so you know what the area looks like. This whole area was flooded with water. I have taken the liberty to do a quick and dirty uh, removal of all water in the area. Uh, so some of it spilled back in from the sides, but most of it didn't. We are in spectator mode, but I have finally figured out how to. I've broken its circuitry enough so I can go in creative mode and not be kicked immediately out. So there was a spawner here, there. Uh, Here's some gold. We could, with all the with the water out of this area, which really, it's a shame that this map did not at some point have it preset. Just have it configured to get rid of all the water. Here's some lapis lazuli. Uh, I happened while flying around to see a pretty good chunk of diamonds too in this area, so I was able to empty out that section, but this whole section didn't really empty out of water. It's still completely flooded. Uh, but when I got to like these sections, we I was able to empty out most of this. So when we get down here to the room of monuments, it's pretty dry, although I made it pretty dry with sponges already. When we fall down this section below this mid-section of Atlantis, the Atlantis generator, and we are back into the rock. This, it's strange how they would have the sections not connected. Uh, Obviously drained out this whole section. Uh, there's really nothing to show. There's nothing to see. There are 4 entrances. So, can I really? I mean, from those 4, can I really make it all the way down? I guess maybe you can. This here, this puzzle when you were swimming around is definitely a different type of puzzle when you're not swimming around. Like Depth Strider, I must have not ever been in this section. Yeah, that was the right way out. So I'm really interested in as to whether there was another way out for that maze. It's hard to see it. Hard to tell. All the water is gone from this. All the water is gone from this section to all the way even down to the very beginning of where we started the map. All of this water is gone. And so it is definitely easier to see. Let's see. There was nothing under the lanterns. Nothing hidden behind any of these. Soul sand. Hey, there was 3 pieces of soul sand in this map, wasn't there? But I needed 4 to make a... I would have needed 4 pieces to make a... Hmm, let's see. So there's 1 piece here. I destroyed 1 piece already. Hmm. I don't know. I don't think there was any more soul sand, so I don't see how you would have ever been able to make the way in. Over here is was our water-filled teleport to the nether that never worked. We will definitely want to go to the nether. There's some more soul sand here, but we couldn't have gotten to it. But before I get to the nether, I want to get to the circuitry down here. This circuitry down here is exactly the same as the circuitry. Well, it's not probably exactly the same, but it's very similar to the circuitry that was in Captive Minecraft 2, and I forgot to cover it. You have what is a hopper clock. Redstone torch goes back and forth between these two. These lanterns are on top of the hopper so nothing falls into it by accident and mess up the timing. The comparator, every time the torch is in here, this flashes, which sends power to this, which sends power to these lines, here, here, and here, and here. Every single one of these has a test for blocks, and it is testing for these 3 blocks to equal the 3 blocks of where the monuments were. So if I wanted, instead of a monument of emeralds, I would just have to put a new thing. So now it wants sponges. When it finds that, which it doesn't find that anymore, notice how this one's lit up and that one's not. Uh, Source and destination are not identical is the output here, and 4 blocks compared. When it gets the signal, it pushes a diamond block or any item really, doesn't have to be a diamond block, into the chest from this dropper, which is a cool trick. I didn't know you could do this. Huh. And then the comparator here lights up and it plays the fireworks sound and replaces it with stone in the case of the expensive blocks. And then after, let's see, let's just get rid of this section. It also says monument complete, and then it adds a scoreboard point to a scoreboard that's been set for the players called Captive Monuments. And it sets the monument tracker for villages up by 1. I don't think they all do that. This one actually summons chickens. This is the reward for that one. Now, it is the same on these 2. They all summon a mushroom cow, plays a fireworks sound, says monument complete, and then it increments captive monuments, and then summons the mushroom cow, and persistence required for mushroom cows. So that's 3 mushroom cows being summoned. That's a funny sound. It's a creepy sound, actually. This whole area is lit up because they don't want monsters spawning here, messing something up. Here is a strange thing, though. Somehow, this hopper is getting the items that we were tossing all the way from the Atlantis generator. And we'll dig straight up from this place. And when it gets in there, it is porting it through this system. It goes through here, around in a circle. It goes to this item hopper at some point and pushes it down here. And every time that happens, prismatirine crystals happens. Add Atlantis core power 1 every time we get a prismatirine crystal. This dropper has some random stuff in there, so actually this would actually, I think it still would work actually. It randomly puts something up there, and whenever, and why is it putting random things up there? Atlantis core power 1. I guess it's just that's a good way for them to increment in a fast way. That is strange. That is real strange. So the question is, how are the things going all the way down? It has to be something teleporting it, because if it was just some trickery where it was falling through all these rocks, they would have to be solid blocks or solid air, and it would be too slow. There must be some bit of of command block trickery that's moving it. I think I overshot the Atlantis section already. Yeah, I overshot the Atlantis section. Well, that beacon's gonna turn off. This isn't the Atlantis core room. What is this? I don't even know if I ever saw this section. This is the monuments room. It's over there. So there is something, some bit of something that takes the prismatirine crystals that are dropped here and teleports it all the way down into a completely different area. And that's pretty amazing stuff. But we've got a lot of amazing stuff to get to. Let's keep making some progress. Let's dig back up. Try to avoid digging through a bunch of stuff we don't need to dig through. So that was the redstone at the bottom is the part that checks for the monuments. So as we fly up, now fly up is the wrong direction. World border. In creative mode, the world border still stops you. Interesting. So world border, add 1,000. And caps lock does not help. There we go. So here's, this does not look as good in the nighttime. Let's see it in the daytime. Here's the island section down here. It is all this very rounded construction. Here's a chest just full of, I guess, all the items that might have been in the game, perhaps, or perhaps this is just a garbage chest somebody put and left, which would point to some sloppiness we have seen before. So it's kind of like it's a floating island. Thus, from the outer side, you kind of get that feeling like, oh, they've created some kind of floating rock, and that's what this all is. And it is covering up the entrance of the Atlantis generator. You see these spawners are only right here. There's actually 3 rows of these chunky glass towers with their lighting. Things that drop my frame rates real good. And then if we just travel to the edge of the world, we're out. It's just one big block of water and no more. Does not naturally generate. They did a pretty decent job of cleaning up because there's just a layer here of clay, or what is this? Cyan stained clay, and then stone. And everything else down there is just these simple things. Here we have, I believe, what is a miniature of the puzzle. Instead of being 4 wide like it is, this is just a miniature version of the underground puzzle. Will it have an exit at the bottom? It is an interesting question. Nope. So I'll just cheat. Almost fell out of the world there. So, seems like they spent a lot of effort thinking about that puzzle, and I think it paid off. I really do. Oddly though, there is here what seems to be another miniature of a different puzzle. Uh, Perhaps this is the inversion of it. Yeah, this is the inversion. So instead of the air here being the inside of the puzzle, it is actually the white you are seeing is the tunnel where the air would be. That's pretty cool. That would be definitely useful. Over here we have a new bit of redstone that I did not see in Captive Minecraft 2, so I want to see what this is all about. I've broken a lot of this on purpose so it stops causing me hassle. Stained glass 15 replace with quartz block. Stained glass 15 replace with quartz block. Filled. What is this whole thing doing? It's just commands that are filling a bunch of area with quartz blocks. And man, this thing just keeps going. I mean, it just keeps going. Quartz blocks. There are no quartz blocks in this map. Oh, come on. I can't fly. I can't fly because it's something there. Something is going on. Something that is just drops the frames to a garbage level. This looks so good. I would not be opposed to guided tours of Minecraft worlds. This is just off the top of my head, but you can with the most latest um, with the latest amount of stuff. Direct which way a player is looking and teleport a player, and you could put them on like a minecart too. And I love the minecarts at the end of a lot of puzzles. We didn't get that here. Not a lot of really nice redstone to see in this design, but anyways, but whatever. I just am thinking like if you just made your entire if you made your entire world and it was just an architectural world, and then you turned around and put the redstone in it to have people take a tour and see it, that would be kind of cool. Let's just try to figure out what this thing is. Like these buttons, set blocks to stone, Atlantis power core 10, scoreboard Atlantis power core 100. I think all of this is just to light it up. Here, let's start by destroying that. Set block. Anything that's clocking is probably going to take forever. this is the exact center of this area. And these are quartz blocks. Let's get out of this. And so I think what they found is, I think what they figured out and found let's just hit a button, is that they could make it look like it was powered up and lit up by changing the glass into quartz blocks. This gives you the trident here. So now I have the trident again, or in theory would have the trident. Yep. So that gives you the trident. Take this, you've earned it. Nice work. Fade color. Fade color. Fireworks. Okay. Those are all activated by each one of these being activated. And each one of these is activated. You're not supposed to be there. By this being activated. And quartz block. World border add 1. Wolf death. Really? What is going on here? So, was that all that music just by a remapped wolf sound? Yeah, that is all just by the wolf sound. There's nothing else. There's nothing else being activated here. They just in the resource pack, changed the wolf sound to, and they didn't light up this area, which is a nightmare. And then it went down this whole zigzag at some point. And it replaced all the stained glass here with quartz blocks, but I don't believe there's a reset. You know what? Let's see if we can get rid of some of this jank with a difficulty peaceful mode. If we go into peaceful, I think that might fix some of it. Okay. So, here is the clocks. First thing I want to do is see if I can break these clocks. These clocks are putting there we go, finally. Wool in specific places. This is actually a strange way for it to do a clock anyways. The top is setting this one to iron, the bottom one is setting this one to redstone, and all of that. This is placing wool, and this is placing wool in specific places around here to run some other clocks. There's a lot of stuff going on. You have this, which seems to be permanently set. Summons a bone. Summons Zisto's skull. Summons that. And rotten flesh. And another bone. So this whole section, we know what this is. This is just the grave of Zisto. This summons a red flower and a red flower. Where? Let's see. 1002, 129, 133. So 1002, 129, 133. Where am I? That couldn't have been right. 1033. I'm somewhere in the dirt, just in this center, so I guess I need to just pick one direction and go. Either I will make my way out. Alright. So maybe somewhere around here is a rose. Let's see. Game mode. Spectator is perfect for this task. Let's see. We was over here. Hmm. Boats. If there's supposed to be a flower over here, I'm not seeing it. I'm totally not seeing it. Here's Zisto's grave. Here's all of this mess on that circuitry. Let's go back this way. Hmm. So what did I type in wrong at this? (993) 1002 129 993. Oh, so on each side of Zisto, there was a rose, and that's where the flowers were. Okay, that makes sense. That makes some sense. Of course, we never saw a yellow flower. We didn't see those flowers either. But at least I'll believe them that it was there. Fill a place with air. Fill an area with air and destroy everything in the middle. I think this is the command to clear off the spawn point. What is this? This summons a skeleton. That is probably the guardian. Here's somebody's head. Uh, hmm. This one is being triggered by just the power in this block. So what's powering the block? Nothing. Interesting. There's the new head. So let's move on. The beginning of this circuit starts right here, and it's for adventuring time. This spawns the boss. What? Add adventuring time 1. This has to do with the boss spawn. A score called boss spawn. This makes a redstone torch to summon the skeleton. And Atlantean Guard. Let's see. Skeleton type called Atlantean Guard. Nothing really that special about it. It was just a wither skeleton. Game mode 0 for the player uh, that was not in the min. So at that point, it made sure I was again in survival mode, and that's just nasty. Uh, because if somebody had bothered to not be in survival mode, you have no reason. If somebody's gonna cheat, don't sit there and try and mess up their cheating. That's only gonna make them more upset. Says that Atlantean Guardians has joined the game when it really wasn't a player. Uh, has left the game, okay. Uh, over here we have what? Test for clay, test for clay, and test for clay. And I think once all of those have been tested for, this goes off and it makes a torch, which then says monument complete, plays a fireworks sound, and sets something to wool, sets something to wool, sets something else to wool, sets something else to wool. This then sets the world border to 1,000, 1,000. Captive monuments 1. So this is the very first beginning of it. What was the dynamic world border? Uh, let's see. Here is how score taking inventory minimum equals 1. The world border centers on yourself. Uh, so wherever you are, this would just constantly be updated using the execute command. Spawn point is 1,000, 12, 1,000. Teleports me to there. Test for all players to be around that area. Centers it at 1,000 at this point. Set some redstone blocks. Set some stone. Set some other clocks in motion. And then it sets the block right there to water so that you can get out of the whole thing. So this whole row starting here is the very first monument. Test out for all players in a specific area, and when it's in that area, play the redstone torch right next to it here, and when you do that, it plays a sound and unlocks the checkpoint, and this plays this and unlocks the other checkpoint. So those are the two checkpoint systems, and they are not triggered until a little bit. Actually, this circuit here is not connected to this here. They just are strangely being very conservative about their space and putting things right next to each other. I don't know why. If anything, you want it more spread out. So once these sections are lit up, It's... What is this doing? I don't think this is doing... Let's see. Title... Sorry. Sorry, yawning here. This is the block data for the um, one of the signs. Click event, action, run, command, value, this, text 3, this, action value, this, click event, run command. Wow. How that uh, turns into how that teleports you, I have no idea. I get text 1 and then the text is a string of characters and then click event, run command, and then the value is a backslash, then a quotation mark, then a forward slash, and a backslash, and then a quotation mark, and then a close parentheses, close parentheses. None of that makes any sense at all. And that says checkpoint locked. And that makes no sense. Atlantis generator. There's a torch on the backside of this. So when it gets power, it turns off this. And this seems to be the same thing. Oh, look, it's not the same thing. One does nothing has nothing in its value. This one has the teleportation command on it. Okay. So that makes sense now. So this whole section doesn't mean anything. That's just probably the escape characters needed to have nothing done. Whereas this is the important part. Values backslash quotation marks, which makes sense. Then forward slash TP like you normally would type. Then backslash quotation marks again. Then you close it again. I'm gonna try and hope to remember that. I'm gonna start putting that in my server. My server could definitely benefit from that right immediately instead of being activated by other means. Okay, let's keep going. Keep on deconstructing it. Let's see. We've got a huge timer here. So what's this circuit about? Redstone block, redstone block, redstone block, clock. If it's moving stones and redstones around, it's just a clock. Iron block, redstone block, redstone block. So this is some clock mechanism going all the way here. And like this goes all the way here. And then it goes back here. And then it goes right back in the circle. So that's just a long clock. This, let's see. Let's get a good view. Says 0 activation. And there is a hopper clock here, and it was powering this before I broke it. Particle fireworks sparks kills what? Kill 1 2 3 2 1. Killed that. I haven't. It's making the symbol for the Atlantis generator. Atlantic Core. Score 100 is not in the range of 0 to 0. So there's something that's been given the UUID 12321, and it is an armor stand. Interesting. I didn't think there would be armor stands in this one, but there actually is one with the custom name of that. Alright. So this is level 1 of the Atlantis power core, all the way up to level 70, then 75, and 100. Test for power, Atlantis power equals 100. And it does equal 100, so it changes its name. It summons a new, actually it summons a new armor stand. So instead of changing its name, each one is its own armor stand being summoned. That's pretty interesting. What do we have over here? Game mode 1, the Farmlanders. Game mode 1, the Farlanders. Set the Farlanders to admin 1. So if a person falls right there, they'll be set as an admin, but only them, and that's kind of sucky. Here is a whole bunch of more junk. Orange tulip. We never saw an orange tulip in the game. Never saw redstone. Never saw ink sacs. We never saw anything spawn to that level. So, okay. Here is what the whole section was supposed to be. Each one of the flags. It was supposed to be a long painting. Okay. So here's your reset all your scores with one easy button. Uh, over here we've got a whole bunch of clock things that are setting things to be destroyed as far as clocks. This summons a villager. This summons a villager. This is the entire villager summon thing. Let's see. 1031, 32, 1006. So, reset villager's monument here. This is intentional, not a bug. Stop me. Tell raw, extra text, dynamic world border activated, color, aqua power event there. Show text value. This is intentional, not a bug. Stop emailing us. This sets all the objectives. So, the way the achievements work is pretty cool. Test for all players to have that achievement. If they have it, then it goes over here and puts a torch here, and by putting a torch there, it lights up this light and sets the world border to a specific thing, increases your inventory, and gives all players the achievement. That way, uh, here it is giving all the players the achievement. Reason it gives all the players the achievement is so that it just gets rid of redundancy. And next is the next achievement, which is here for getting wood, punching wood. This is the next achievement, benchmarking. And when you get down from benchmarking, you can go 3 different directions. You can time to farm, which unlocks a couple more achievements. The bread and cake achievement. All of these are the same design, and this is almost identical to the same uh, to Captive Minecraft 2. Notch apple, getting an upgrade, um, and so on and so on. Over here is the time to strike sword one. It unlocks Monster Hunter and Sniper Duel and repopulation and cow tipper and when pigs fly. The main arc here is time to mine, and then the furnace, and then acquire iron and delicious fish, and then on a rail and diamonds and enchanter and librarian and overkill. The achievement's really not the biggest amount of uh, stuff, redstone and command block trickery in Captive Minecraft 3, where it really was in Captive Minecraft 2 and 1. Although the way things were laid out in 1 was definitely different. This is let's see, a blaze rod for the staff of monuments, and the way it gets triggered is hmm, effect blindness equals true. Crystals. Crystals. Hmm. This is a little weird. So, before I fall out of the area, under each one of these is a title that is played, and the reason that the title is played is because you have walked next to something. Atlantis returned to spawn, uh, and Lone Island returned to spawn. Are these two? Every other one of these is just a um, let's see, clay. It's a description of the monuments. So this first one you want clay. That's the very first monument we built. Next one you want is yellow stained clay, and they color coded it. Great. So for ease, diving helmet and diving helmet with night vision and diving helmet. This is not connected, I don't believe. It's just enchanting. Well, maybe it is. Maybe it is enchanting uh, you're the player whenever he has a diving helmet on to have night vision. This is test for a wall sign. Test for a wall sign. If it's there, to what? Hmm. I have no idea. I have no idea what this is even for. Test if the block has a wall sign. Even if you did test to see if it had a wall sign, this has no output coming from it. This makes no sense at all. Maybe originally that circuitry did something, but right now as it stands it does nothing for this side. Uh, the one thing we're not really finding is the thing that kept putting me in create game mode, creative game, survival mode. I'm just not seeing it. It's somewhere in here. I know for a fact it is because I had to. This is the stuff I destroyed to get into uh, creative, but I'm not seeing it. So they didn't change the redstone a lot, but they did add some stuff to it. Let's see. Let's go into spectator mode now, and let's talk a little bit about architectural design. Uh, I think they have their reasons for all of these. Like default tunnels. They're just too perfectionist to leave these tunnels here for no reason. I think there definitely is a reason. Uh, Maybe it's aesthetic, maybe it's for spawning. Maybe they just started at a certain point and decided not to do the cleanup work, which makes sense. I wouldn't want to do the cleanup work of finding all these tunnels and getting rid of them. Here we can see the maze uh, in all its glory. Still the best part of this map. Everybody should consider doing something like this. There's a spawner on the inside of it. Uh, this is just a block, an empty block for no reason. Uh, so then you're in this little arena area where we fought the Atlantean Guard, and there's nothing really special about these outer edges. They were just connected to the tunnels, just areas where monsters could have spawned. Uh, if there was anything here that was unique, you can't see it in spectator mode. Uh, so if it was a solid block, I can't see it when I'm flying through solid rock like I am now. If it was a chest, I could see it though. So we can take solace that there are no chests hidden. Working our way down to what I assume is just a prison. And here we have our sign that says cheater. We've got a cheater over here because there was no way you were supposed to ever reach that distance. Uh, I like the design they did on this section. It seems like some definitely different people designed different sections. You've got this whole thing, and it's weird because there's all these hallways, and if I had never knocked down the walls and just kept this a really small area, uh, it would have been this is a tiny room, and then just down this way is a bunch of hallways, which this is just a mob spawner. That's all that is a dark area where mobs could spawn, making it more difficult, and you couldn't ever light up all the way down here enough to stop it from spawning. Uh, so I kind of like the idea. They should have gone heavier in the prison idea. If there had been skulls sitting around, if there had been some bigger jail cells, uh, it would have made a lot more sense. If they had given us a book with some dialogue, that would have helped a lot. So let's see. My game mode has been updated. Really? Yes, of course it has. I just updated it to creative mode. Okay. So here we are in the Nether. It's a shame that this was broken. Uh, a real shame that this whole thing was just broken. Set this to redstone and destroy it. Set a block to redstone and destroy it. Teleport all players, all entities that are not a player to the higher up area. So it seems to intentionally want the player to be teleported here. Why it wants the player to start here is beyond me. This just feels like something was destroyed. I mean, that totally feels like it. Uh, give blindness and teleport all players to -20. I don't think you can teleport them to -20. There is no, well, I guess maybe. So here it's trying to teleport all players. And the clock is going. Here. Now the clock will stop going. But there's something about the clock that it doesn't run fast enough. There's the blindness effect gone. Which, that's nice. So you spawn down here. If you're lucky. And don't just die immediately. So that blindness effect. And then this summons an elder guardian at a specific height. So there was a full boss fight in this section. Nether visitor. Score. Signs are ready to teleport. World bottom checkpoint is here. And then ice cavern checkpoint is there. There we go, we've unlocked that checkpoint. Let's see. And this is the ocean bottom checkpoint sign that's been set. And this is the ice cavern checkpoint that's been set. So let's go ahead and spawn that. And oops. Keep hitting the wrong button. Turn that clock off. Teleport all players. Let's see. Oops. Hopefully that didn't show up on the screen as I hit the wrong button. Alright. Let's just try this. That doesn't work. How about just teleport all players in general to this section? Alright, that works. So we're in peaceful mode, which makes it rather easy to get around and do things. This is really good. I turned off the clock so I think these will still work fine, but this is the ice cavern, and they'll still work, but they won't tell me the thing. So here's the nether place. We'd be fighting through here, working our way down here. We didn't get to play this section at all. We flew through it in spectator mode and looked around and really just were upset that we couldn't play it. How you were gonna keep your breath and not totally die here, I don't know. Uh, Assumedly you would come to sections like this and try and catch your breath and recover and then keep on going down. This is cool. If they could have if they got it to play some cool music right about now, like as you're falling down, this would be really awesome. In fact, this is an awesome enough thing that if you weren't being attacked and you weren't suffocating, this would be a great intro to the game. Just falling down deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, and just have it keep on going. Here's the ice cavern, I believe. Depth strider, redstone comparators. Uh, Whatever was in that. Oops. And let's see. And that right there is the ice cavern. And so from the ice cavern we work our way down further and go down to this section, which is now the full-on underwater maze, which this is not underwater. Good. That explains how you would have been able to breathe a lot easier. I was wondering about that. I was like, wait a minute, this one seems too long and too difficult. It's like they had two teams working on a maze. It was, is two mazes in this too much? No, I don't think so. Uh, maybe just do this one and save the other one for the next one, but the fact that they both exist, here's a blaze. Let's see. The fact that they both exist in this map pretty much guarantees to me that they knew you couldn't actually get to the nether. It's like, it definitely feels like they were working on it still, and then they kind of quit working on it. It's not like I got this map fresh off the presses. I am covering this months after other people have covered it. And what was that? Squids! Finally we find squids. We didn't find them anywhere else in the game. And now there's just a ton of them here getting spawned. Here's our squid spawner spawning them. Uh, all kinds of sponges here. All kinds of, what is this, dirt, regular dirt. Uh, so here's where you would get your black ink sacs. Here's where you would have gotten your dirt. Uh, Here you can even see the ink sacs here. Redstone lanterns, dandelion yellow, pink tulips, ender pearls, melon seeds, sugar cane, apple. Tons of stuff that would have really, really helped you actually achieve things. This really makes me feel like I might just be a loser and missed something, and you really could do all of this map, and you really could have gotten till this point. Maybe somebody can. I couldn't. The blindness alone, as soon as you got to the let's see, as soon as you started having blindness from the when you're at the very beginning of this area. So this is the bottom of the map. And how do we get from the bottom to the top? Feels like you just had to dig. Doesn't seem like there's any pathway here. I mean, over here, there's nothing over here. What are these? Netherrack? Interesting. So if I go over here and turn off the resource pack, still looks the same because the resource pack is built into the game. The resource pack is only needed if you're doing a server. Uh, which is how it always works if it's done right. Here's a diamond even over here. Yep, it seems like you just have to dig your way down, and digging your way down from the water is kind of a difficult task. It's kind of an unnecessary task. Uh, like, yeah, doesn't make a lot of sense there. So let's go into spectator mode now. We are at the bottom. This is the teleportation up. There's a section over here that's nothing, a section over there that's nothing, section over there that's nothing. And just dig our way down. It really is just dig your way down. There's nothing connecting. Uh, so if you had dug all your way down, like right here, you would have missed it too. So you needed to dig your way down somewhere close to the spawner. Hmm. Wow, look at all that. Those certainly feel like just places designed and copy and pasted for monsters to spawn in. What would this have been a total nightmare of fighting monsters like the sewers in Captive Minecraft 2? I can't say for certain, but it seems like maybe. The sewers, yeah, the sewers in Captive Minecraft 2. Yeah, now that I think about it, oh yeah, that's probably exactly what they were going for, and it was would probably be just as annoying there. And then you have this whole creeper spawners with the ice uh, section. I mean, it's definitely a cool concept. Uh, this whole thing is pretty cool concept. And further up, there's all kinds of stuff we could have mined. There's a lot of gold and a lot of emeralds in this section if you'd found it. But the game doesn't really point you to that. To this huge amount of just gold. Is there enough gold here to make a is there enough gold here to make a full beacon with the emeralds and the gold though? Uh no, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing enough. I'm seeing a good amount, but I'm not seeing enough. At least even if there was enough here, you'd be still scrounging quite a lot. Here's another dungeon. Here's a wither skull head. Okay, so here's a wither skull head. Here's a wither skull head. Uh, you would have needed 3, and I'm seeing 2 right now to summon the wither. So they had plans for it. They were thinking, at least, it's not in theory. If you had gotten to this section, I really missed out on half the game. I think everybody really just missed out on half the game. There's too much water, though, just far too much water. And this is all in the nether. This is the top of the nether here. Uh, and if we start going like this far out and we go in creative mode, what will we be in? Will we be in? Wow. As let's see. What are we looking at? Stone. Just solid stone. Shouldn't be solid stone in the nether. Should be netherrack. As we start to move out to this section here, where here is where the real nether begins. It's got mushrooms growing on top of it. Uh, so because they've retexturized it, you can see the netherrack, and it's just tons of netherrack and lava and glowstone and zombie pigmen and gas. And what is this? Nether quartz ore. So when we hit this, we were getting nether quartz. Hmm. There is a ring on the outside here of lava, but once we start going in the inside, it's all stone. Hmm. Get back to this midsection. It's this whole little secret world hidden inside. Everybody outside on the other end of the nether would never know. Anyways, let's die like we should. I don't know why we should die, but let's just assume we should. Sadly, there's no real way I see of draining this place completely of water. It would take a lot of work. Hmm. Just replacing all of this quartz with glass. Uh, I want to get to the end now. That's the last bit to check out. I want to just double check. We flew around in spectator mode in the end before. I just want to double check if there was anything else. Uh, the teleporting sign trick, now that I kind of have an understanding of how it works, is something I think I will use in the future. The monuments thing, I don't think I would particularly uh, do that, but it's good to know. Um, Everything else I kind of already knew. I can't see anything. Hmm. I'm way in the wrong place. Let's do that one more time. I'll set my spawn point right next to the end of the right next to the end portal, and that way we won't have to transverse this distance again. Or is it traverse this distance? Hmm. Transverse or transverse? Which is the right word? Probably neither. Anyways, so we type in spawn point. Now a spawn point is right there. We jump in. We die. And then go to tile screen. And get back into here. And then respawn. And there it worked then. So maybe you have to die, go to the tile screen, and then load back in to get it to work. Maybe that's the trick. Because nothing is going to be inside these uh, portals, towers. We have our two fountains for the two guys that we managed to kill. We have the egg, which, let's see, if we take a piston and a lever, let's see, and then we put this here. Hmm. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Come on. Don't tell me I lost it. Well, I think I can give myself the dragon egg at any point I want anyways, but that is the trickery you have to do to get it. There's something along that line at least. Let's see, game mode, spectate. The end is very strange too, that it's a very limited area, and it's only that area. Uh, which is a real split from the rest of the game. Here we have what I suspect is the only actual redstone in the end. Teleport Ender Dragon to a specific spot. What garbage is that? I mean, okay, that totally explains why the Ender Dragon was just moving in the strange fashions. Why was there two Ender Dragons? I think that they summoned two in this map when they were creating it, and that's pretty much all there was to it. Uh, there's not supposed to be. I kind of like this concept of making a jump bridge, but what kind of foolish person would actually do that? Let's see. If I'm running, I mean, can I do that? No. Let's give it another try. Let's see. I'm running from a dragon. No. That seems, that's cool and all, but it seems so silly. Let's see. Does it seems like they carved up this area more than they actually created a new one. Uh, they just kind of limited it. Uh, there's nothing in here. Nothing down in here. Both in the regular, normal end and in this. You have this whole section. If that was full of something, that'd be kind of cool. I don't know what it could be full of. Gold? Sure, why not? Make it full of gold. Dinosaurs, I mean dragons, not dinosaurs. I'm talking about dragons, not dinosaurs right now. Uh, Dragons love to sleep on gold. That, that's what I've always heard, at least. And so the only thing that's really special about this is that they have walls on this so you can't fall off, which is kind of nice. And then a staircase that goes straight up to get you into the fight. And then they put this here. And why they put this here instead of just a regular chest, why there is a minecart in a chest instead, is beyond me. I have no idea. Well, you don't always learn a lot from deconstructing this. I hope you did. This is Most of the circuitry was known to me. A lot of it was definitely uh, isn't something I would use. Uh, I have learned in general a lot about from Captive Minecraft. In general, I've learned that I am really, really bad at fighting, and I'm going to stay away from these type of maps. I've learned that despite your best efforts, if half of your map does not work, you're going to have a really bad time as a player. Your players are going to have a really bad time. Uh, if they had gotten things to work, if they'd gotten the nether to work, the end to work, if they'd done some editing, made it easier, given easy options, or even a peaceful option, uh, that would be really great. Uh, but none of that happened. This is just broken. I have to just stamp the broken interface on this label, on this whole series. Captive Minecraft 1, 2, and 3, just, they're all broken. They all need to be fixed and re-released. Um, Anyways, as we're watching this weird ending, let me just wrap up and say, again, I hope you learned something. There's not a majestic, great amount of work going on there. Anyways, uh, as always, I ask that you like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps out. If you want to support me, you can do that by clicking on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it and make a donation, please. If you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media site, uh, there's a whole bunch of links down below. And as soon as these credits are done, we're gonna wrap up. So let's just sit here and quiet because I have nothing more to say and nothing more to learn, I don't think, from this map. I probably will not be doing another Minecraft series directly after this one. I will do another one at some point in the future, but that may be a very long time. I have a bunch of other games to uh, that I need to play, over 100 probably in the next year, and I need to focus on those. If you want to see my other games, which I hope you do, You can get to my main YouTube page just by clicking my name again, and then there's a playlist tab. Click that playlist. You'll see every game I have done or am doing, uh, and that way it will. Uh, you can watch some of my other series, which I hope you do. Uh, uh, so make sure you're subscribed if you want to see my next Minecraft uh, series. It will eventually come. Stay subscribed. Check your YouTube subscriptions page. Uh, uh, and all of that. Man, I am getting distracted just reading this this really weird thing. This ending in no way matches fighting the dragon. I kind of get what they were trying to do with it, but wow. I mean, it's just such a mess. Minecraft doesn't need an ending. It doesn't need an end. It doesn't need a final boss. It doesn't need another final boss after that final boss has been played out. I hate the end so much. I hate the end credits so much. Wow. This is just rambling on and on again. Still. I would have sworn it would have been done by now. Is this being translated from Swedish? Really? I mean, let's go back further. The 7 billion atoms of the player's body. Gosh. The only thing that's more of a mess than the Captive Minecraft is the ending to Minecraft in general. Let me just say, please don't be offended if any of the creators of these maps see this. I see a lot of greatness in the maps. It's just, it seems like you stopped on them. It seems like you didn't finish, and I can only, uh, I can only criticize. I am a critic, so I will be critical. Uh, and my experience has been a true experience. And if you've been watching my whole series, you know how frustrated I got. I never faked my frustration. I never played it up for YouTube or anything like that. I was really frustrated. I really didn't have a great experience with these maps. Maybe that's my lack of skill, but I am an average player. I, what can I say? I'm at least an average player, if not slightly better than an average player. And I was very frustrated. Almost as frustrated as going through these credits. They're still going on. Really, if they had voiced this, this could possibly have been an amazing dialogue. But reading it off the screen, it just comes off as this most like new age-ish hippy dippy uh BS stuff is the nonsense. Just nonsense. And the universe said you are the universe testing itself, talking to itself, reading its own code. And the universe said I love you because you are love. I mean, wow. You are the player. Does this thing never end? You are the player. Wake up. Hurry up. This has nothing to do with Minecraft. This is not what Minecraft's all about. Wow. And now it's Minecraft credits. Created by Marcus Pearson, aka Notch. Game design, programmer, and graphics by Marcus Pearson, Notch, Jens Bergstein, Nathan Adams, aka Dinnerbone, Ryan Holtz, Michael Stoke, Eric Bros. Nathan Adams is in charge of pretty much making most of the modifications to Minecraft now. Notch decided he didn't want to be in the limelight and sold it to Microsoft, and Microsoft is going to try their best, which isn't much, to not ruin it, because who knows if they can really pull that off or not. I would probably put my money on no, they couldn't. But we have the game that we have now. Uh, Not a lot of people worked on this game, uh, although I think a lot more people have worked on it now than when it was originally created. Notch's Infiniminer, which is what this was, I think, originally called, was much, much simpler. It was just stone and dirt and maybe grass, like 3 block types. No, none of the redstone circuitry, no command blocks, no tricks, nothing in this map would work at all in Infiniminer or even the early alphas of Minecraft. There was significant jumps in the quality and the capabilities of Minecraft around the 1.8 versions. Even 1.74, I recall, was having significant items added. Uh, yeah, 1.74 is the earliest I probably was paying attention to it, but items were getting added. Uh, uh, so now you have an inspirational quote at the end too. Wow. Wow. Uh, we're about to hit 1.9. That is promising to do some significant increases in the game and just some pretty big changes too. And from that, we will see some new major uh, items and styles of gameplay and all of that. Well, that was the credits, and that was pretty bad. And that is Deconstructing Captive Minecraft 3. Thanks for watching. Have a good evening.